Why are black people the only ones that need to check in? We don't make any other group check in. We don't make Asians check in. We don't make whites check in. We don't make Hispanics check in. We only make black people check in. Why is that? For anyone who doesn't know what checking in means, that means when you go to another city, another town, you're supposed to check in with whoever is, quote, running that city. And you do this to ensure your safety. Checking in. This whole Big U ROLLIN 60s thing had me doing a lot of thinking this past week about my people and why we victimize each other so much. We extort each other. We take each other's lives. We treat each other like enemies, even when we're not. And I'm not saying Big U is guilty of any of this. I'm just talking about my people in general. Checking in. That is a concept only black people have to deal with. And it's unfortunate. I'm going to play a few clips of Big U and Loose Cannon, two of the ROLLIN 60s who were recently arrested by the feds, talking about checking in.
When it comes down to checking in, is either you checking in to get set up and get robbed, or you checking in to get.
All right, so off top, you're either checking in so you don't get robbed, or you're checking in so you don't get your life taken. And this is Loose Cannon, specifically right there, speaking about that.
It ain't not one human being that's not going to check in.
Here's Big U right here explaining checking in.
You can choose not to, and it's going to be a problem. If dudes come and you move it in a certain way, if you choose not to check in, suffer the consequences. It's foreign to me to hear people speak how they, I'm not going to check in, but then that's the ignorant dude. And I don't think nobody is safe.
This is a black man, Big U, saying that nobody is safe. You must check in if you come to Los Angeles. If you go to Chicago, you're supposed to check in. If you go to Philadelphia, you're supposed to check in. Allegedly, they were extorting NFL players. And by extorting, I mean, quote, checking in. NFL players had to check in, including Shaq. And by checking in, a lot of the times that means, cha-ching, give me some money so I can ensure your safety. Boxers, professional boxers have allegedly checked in, including Adrian Broner. NFL players, NBA players, boxers have all had to check in. But I bet none of those NFL players or NBA players or boxers who were in that paperwork, who were extorted, excuse me, had to check in, were white. I'd bet my last dollar that none of them were white. We only make our people check in. It's really, really interesting to me. Let's continue with Loose Cannon and Big U, two of the members of ROLLIN 60s who were originally arrested, who are arrested by the feds recently, talking about checking in.
Just the rules of the streets in LA. It's like people think Beverly Hills is so far away, but the hood is only like 10, 15 minutes away.
That is true, but you know what? You ain't making nobody in Beverly Hills check in. And I understand the concept. If you're living a certain life, I do understand the concept. Me as a civilian, I'm just not checking in. there's no reason for me to check in. I don't even know who I would check in with. I'm just going to go to your town. I'm going to lay low. I'm going to respect it. And I'm going to get the hell out. But I do understand if you're living a certain life that you probably want to be aware of your surroundings and you probably want to check in with the right people. But who are the right people? Let's keep it pushing. Loose cannon. And actually, this is my dude Alonzo Williams talking about checking in.
The local well, I'm like, where the lobby at to check in at? Where the lobby at? If you check in with one hood and don't check in with another hood, you can spend your whole time just checking in.
That's what I don't understand right there. The whole checking in thing, that right there confuses me a little bit. So just because I check in with one hood, that means I'm good with everybody? No, that's not. No. I mean, think about it. Just because I check in with one person doesn't mean that there's a person across the street probably with bigger ties or just as big ties as that person with the bigger crew who could take me out.
How do you check in with everybody from the other team? I don't understand that. Yeah. I mean, I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not trying to play, belittle what their situation, their protocol. Yeah. But is there a universal? You go online check in, or you got to go to somebody's house? I mean, I'm in town, dude. Don't be shooting me. What
is the proper protocol of checking in? I hear rappers, usually rappers, say, you can't come to this town unless you check in with me. The irony is a lot of these rappers can't even leave their block. They're not even safe when they go 3 blocks down, but they're going to tell me that they're going to ensure my safety. No, that usually means they just want some money from you. And let's keep it real. Let's call it what it is. Checking in is, for the most part, extortion, right? Which is one of the things that Big U is being accused of. NFL players, NBA players, football players. But I bet none of them were white.
Country singers ain't got to check in. K-pop ain't got to check in.
Opera singers checking in. Opera singers ain't checking in. K-pop singers ain't checking in. Rock and roll. Kid Rock ain't checking in. Eminem ain't checking in. And he's a rapper. Eminem will come to LA, do what the fuck Eminem wants to do, and get out of here. Why are you guys not showing that energy for Eminem? Huh? Why are Hispanics and Latinos not being extorted or being forced to check in? I'll tell you why, because they ain't going for that shit. I'll tell you that, right? Off top, they're not going for that, right? They're not going to let some other group tell them where they can and can't go. And I think a lot of my people know that, and that's why we only stick to our people. We know our people are weak. Yes, did Dusty Vision just say that? Yes, our people are weak, dog. We only go after ourselves. Huh? We'll take out one of our lives, pop, boom. But we'll raise our hands when a cop tells us to freeze. We only do it to ourselves, man. Let's continue with this whole checking in thing.
We're the only people that have a whole musical genre dedicated to killing ourselves. Mm-hmm.
That's a little too deep for y'all. Let's jump into that for a bit while we're talking about checking in. Let's talk about this music that we create that forces a lot of us, and I put us in quotes, my people, rappers, etc. It forces us to check in based on the music that we make. Here's Alonzo Williams breaking that down a little bit more. Oh, we're getting deep today, ladies and gentlemen.
We're the only people that have a whole musical genre dedicated to killing ourselves. Mm-hmm. We in a war against everybody else, the Klan, the the nationalists, everybody else. But meanwhile, we in a war against ourselves. So if we need some soldiers, we're going to be short. How do you have a...
Ooh! He said we're at war with ourselves, so if we need soldiers, we're going to be short. And you know what he means by that. Another civil war pops off. Oh, we're screwed. We're taking that. And once again, racist white man just sitting back like, look at that, man. They're doing our job for themselves. We ain't even got to do anything. Look, they're extorting each other, taking each other's lives, treating each other like enemy when we have so many enemies out there. The black man, I'm going to go black woman, black people, period, are the number one enemy in the country. Not in just a country, in the world. You go anywhere and black is seen as not beautiful. It's seen as unclean. You go to Mexico, same thing. The Asian community, same thing. The darker you are, the poorer you are. And I put that in quotes, obviously. The Mexican culture does it. We do it. Black folk do it. The darker you are, the ugly you are. We are the number one enemy to everyone. And here we are just taking each other's lives and treating each other like we're the number one enemy. And a lot of this goes into the music that we put out, the music that forces us to check in. And if we don't check in, what happens? We get robbed by our own people. If we don't check in, what happens? We get popped by our own people. R.I.P. PNB Rock. Huh? Pop Smoke. Oh, we can keep going and going and going.
Music. Oh, how do you have a musical genre that's only dedicated to killing your own people? Everybody that makes a new record talking about killing somebody, some nigga, some hoe, whatever the case may be, and they only talking about killing other black people. I'm not looking to condone killing nobody, but as many enemies as we have, the only one you can find is the one next door, one around the corner. Hey, that's on some special shit right there.
All the enemies we have, the only ones you can find are the ones that look like you. Think about that for a second. And also think about this music that we create. Let's talk about it. Even going back to gangster rap, drill rap, whatever you want to call it nowadays, whatever it's called. The music that encourages us to take each other's lives. Let's talk about that music. That music does not fly in any other group. We are the only people, the only group who make music about killing each other. No one else does that. A country singer may have a song or two about, I shot that man who had sex with my wife. And now I'm in the county doing life. I shot that 3 times, and then I went on home and drank a little bit of cheap boxed wine. I mean, there may be 1 or 2 songs, and that was freestyle, by the way. I should be a country singer player. There are 1 or 2 country songs maybe that talk about popping somebody because they banged your wife. But dude, no other race, no other culture, and I put culture in quotes, straight up quotes. Is this even a culture? I mean, it's part of the culture, sadly. How crazy is that killing another motherfucker is part of the culture? That's part of our culture. It's in our DNA. History books 50, 100, 200 years from now are going to read about us doing this. Oh, yeah. Man, what do you mean? Back in 1972? In 100 years, they're going to be reading but in 1972, this gang started, and they were all blue. And then this other gang popped up, and they were all red. And guess what they did? They killed each other over that color. What? This is going to be in history books forever. And it's only our culture that does it. This would never fly in another culture. The homies from the J Crew with the hats. You ain't going to be able to do that. There was a group called 2 Live Jews. And they had a lot of songs that were mocking. They were straight. They were part of the community. They were Jewish dudes. Part of the community. And they put out this album called Two Live Jews. Obviously a play on Two Live Crew. And they had funny songs mocking the culture of the Jewish people. And guess what happened? Within not even the release of that album, the Jewish community came in and they said, no, you are not going to put out anything that's making us look stupid, that's making us look dumb, that's making us look crazy, that's invoking all these stereotypes. You're not going to do any of that. So the record label, X-Nay on the Two Live Tuesday. They said, nah, we ain't releasing that. Nope. You may even notice I am bleeping out the word Jewish now. Why am I doing that? Because it's part of an algorithm, and if that word is mentioned too much, and I'm not even talking trash about them, I'm just saying, if that word is mentioned too much, then my channel will be done. If I said that word a few times, it's going to come up on an algorithm and it's going to pop up that, you know what, this video may not be monetized because it may be offending someone. Just because I'm talking about a certain section. And I'm not even dissing at all. I'm not dissing. I'm talking about history, about the Two Live Jews. But I have to block out that word. I can say nigga 75 times right now. I'm not going to because I don't like that word. But I can say nigga. I can say that 75 times throughout this podcast. And nothing. No one's going to complain. YouTube ain't going to give me a strike. I'm not going to get the yellow bar, which means I can't make money off this video, can't be monetized. I could say the N-word as much as I want to. But if I said, for instance, the F word, 3-letter word that is derogatory towards the rainbow community. If I said that, I'm getting that little bar that says I can't monetize. But I could say the N-word over and over and over and over again and still get monetized. People on YouTube do it all the time. Why is that? Because black people allowed it. Even though the N-word is a horrible word, it comes from horrible origins. All this never ignorant, getting goals accomplished. Get the fuck out of here. Nigga, please. Get out of here with that nigga stands for never ignorant, getting goals accomplished, man. Nigga, you ain't even got a job, bro. You can't even accomplish the first goal in life, which is the basic, is getting a fucking job. But you over here telling me never ignorant, getting goals accomplished? Stop it. Nigga is an ignorant word, and that's what it means. You might as well, every time you talk about with your homie, hey, say the N-word, you might as well be saying, what up, ignorant? What up, you ignorant person? That's my ignorant person right there. Hey, I'm a real ignorant person, homie. Don't play with me, homie. You better check in with me, homie. I'm a real ignorant person, homie. Shit, what up, my ignorant person? Shit, where you going? Shit, I don't know, man. I might go roll to my ignorant person's house. And it's a stupid word. It's a stupid word. And I hate it. I dislike it, but we allow it. We're the only ones that allow us to make music about taking each other's lives and disrespecting each other by calling each other the N-word. We are the only ones. And it makes me sick. Disgusts me. As I get older, it disgusts me, man. When I was a kid, I thought gangster rap was cool. Yeah, man, it's the shit, man. And even back in the 90s, even though it was, quote, gangster rap, there was still some message. There was a little message to it, man. Cube had some messages. King T had some messages to some of their songs. You know what I mean? But nowadays, there ain't no message in the drill rap. It's just, nigga, I'm going to kill that ignorant person and that ignorant person and that ignorant person. And I'm everybody killer. No substance. Dope beats and good lyrics. Don't get me wrong. As far as the cadence and all that, these kids got it. Like, I can't say they're not bad rappers. I can't say the beats are not good because that part, but it's the substance that's coming out. The spell, that's coming out and going right into your children's ears, and it's going right into that brain, and it is embedding in that brain. And we're the only ones that do this, guys. Why are we the only ones that do this? Comment down below. Let me know. Why do you think black folk are the only ones that make music about taking each other's lives and treating each other like enemies? And what do you guys think about this whole Big U situation of him allegedly making people check in? Making black people specifically check in, because I ain't heard no Latinos come out and say that they were extorted or had to check in, because they wouldn't take that shit. I ain't heard no white people come out and say, yeah, man, Big U extorted me. Yeah, I was on the Kid Rock concert. I was opening up for Kid Rock, and he said, hey, if you want to roll around L.A., freely, you got to check in with the 60s. Nope. You know why? Because white people wouldn't take that shit. We're the only ones that take it because we are weak. What do you think? Comment down below, and please hit that like button if you haven't already. And if this is your first time joining the channel and you like what you hear, please hit that subscribe button. One of the things with this whole Loose Cannon, Brick Baby, Big U situation that tripped me out, and there's so much content to keep up with, so I'm gonna just pick bits and pieces of what stood out to me. And damn it, when I heard this today, this stood out to me like a motherfucker. You guys remember a few years ago, PNB Rock had his life taken from him in Los Angeles at a Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles smack dab in the hood. Neck full of jewelry, bracelet full of jewelry. They came in, tried to get it from him. He didn't go. He went out without a fight, and he ended up losing his life. His chick was with him, and it happened right in the middle of a restaurant. So not only do we have black people getting killed, take their lives taken in the middle of a restaurant, now we have all those people that have to deal with that trauma of seeing that. It's a whole other story, though. Black trauma. Oh, I'm gonna do another whole show. I've done shows on that in the past. I'm gonna do another whole show on that. But yes, PNB Rock was in there, lost his life because he didn't want to give up his jewelry at a Los Angeles Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. Well, today what I heard. See, nothing these guys say, Brick Baby, Loose Cannon, they've said some that's made my jaw drop to the ground. Like, oh my God, I can't believe they're saying this. But when I heard this today, and all this stuff is coming out in hindsight, but when I heard this today, I was like, whoa. When I heard Loose Cannon place himself at the same Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles on the same day, at the same moment that PNB Rock had his life taken from him, I said, what the?
Yeah. So I felt it was like super messed up, because at the end of the day, it was me and Big Useless in there when it happened.
Let me stop that real quick. Gather my thoughts. Yes, you just heard someone place themselves at the crime scene where a famous rapper had his life taken from him. And this guy's now in jail on federal charges.
So when it happened, I wish I could have just told him, like, bro, just give up the jury and we get it back to you later. But it just happened so fast.
He said he wishes he could have told them, just give the jewelry up and we'll get it for you later. This dude just admitted. He just admitted to being at a crime scene and being involved. I mean, if that's not an admission of guilt, I don't know what is. Yes, any lawyer in the country who went to law school and got their bar could say, yeah, but he wasn't very specific. But me and you, as people with common sense, we know exactly what he just admitted to.
And he wasn't cooperating. and that's when they took it off of them by force. You get what I'm saying?
What do you say to a person who won't give up their jury when something like that's happening?
No, give it up and then check in with the real people.
There goes that checking in again. Check in with the real people. Who are the real people? Who are the people that could have kept PNB Rock safe at that Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles? First of all, I'm from LA. I know exactly where that Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles is. I've been living in Los Angeles for my entire life, and I would never go to that Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. There's 4 or 5 other Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles, which are trash, by the way. Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles has gone down in quality so much, like really bad. There are way better chicken and waffles in LA now. Way better. Roscoe's was the only game in town about 15 or 20 years ago, but now there are some great chicken spots in LA, do amazing chicken and waffles. And why anyone would go to Roscoe's with those horrible, nasty, rubbery waffles now, and that chicken that just looks overgrown and like someone shot it up with hormones and it's not even cooked all the way through. I'm keeping it real. This is my last few experiences at Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. But I would definitely not go to that Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. And if someone came up to me and they just so happened to want my watch, here you go. Because a real player is going to have it insured anyway. So here, all yours, man. There you go. There you go. Because a smart person is going to have it insured. Especially if it's worth anything, which a lot of these diamonds that these rappers have, worthless. If they're not cubic zirconium or some other weird sparkly thing, it's the most lowest grade diamond in the world. It's the diamond that the African slave who picked it would throw away because his owner, his manager, his person, his overseer would not want him to even bring that crappy diamond around. That's usually what's in those diamonds, by the way. But here we go again. Here's Loose Cannon discussing placing him and Big U at the crime scene of PNB Rock, who had his life taken away from him at a Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles in Los Angeles.
So we're going to find a jury, and we're going to get it because we know all the pawn shops, we know all the people that's going to melt it down and everything like that. So as soon as it comes on their table, we got it. Okay, get it, go in that back room, make that phone call, put them on the phone. That's how it works.
So he just admitted that he knows a bunch of pawn shops in it. Oh, you don't think they're going to press him on that for that? He just admitted that he knows all the players who are going to melt it down. When I hear people talk, it amazes me that they are surprised that they are now sitting in a federal jail. Sorry, dude. And this is just a small 30-second clip. This dude and Brick Baby as well have said some things online that I thought to myself, this can't be real. This can't be real. Wait, this is real? This ain't real, right? This can't be real. Yeah, it's 100% real. And it's sad. But what do you think? Comment down below. What do you think about Big U, Brick Baby, and Loose Cannon being locked up right now? What do you think about checking in? And what do you think about the fact that we only make black people check in? We don't make anyone else check in. We only make our people check in. I'm curious to know your thoughts, so comment down below. And if this is your first time joining the channel and you like what you hear, please hit that like button. And definitely hit that subscribe button if you want some more.